Tonight, full-blown security emergency as the National Security Ministry convenes a meeting to fashion a response to the violent clashes at Nima, which has left at least 3 people with gunshot wounds and machete wounds.
Because of incidents that happened yesterday in Nima and all that, so I have to leave you somewhere along the line to go for a meeting at National Security.
We have details of a heavy police deployment for an intensive search for the rest of the feuding gang members who are currently on the run.
We are pursuing the criminals in and around Nima and its environs to make sure that we get them arrested to enable them to face justice.
We'll take you to the community and hear from some residents who are dreading reprisals. And top story is brought to you by Vodafone and Prime Insurance. Rest assured, you are insured. My name is Ernest Minu. Busy streets, gun blazing, machetes flying, and everyone young and old running for their lives. That's how the situation unfolded at Nima in the Ayawaso East municipality of the Greater Accra region, where rival gangs engage in a gun battle. It's been nearly 24 hours since then, and many residents are yet to recover from the incident. Some shops along the principal street remain closed. We'll take you there shortly. But tonight, Joy News is learning of a meeting at the National Security Ministry to look into this issue, among others. My colleague Manuel Cranton, who has been on this beat, joins me in the studio. Manuel, what more are we learning about this meeting?
Also, Ernest, this is a high-level meeting which is featuring the regional minister, the Greater Accra regional minister, Henry Quartey himself, and then also the municipal chief executives of, in fact, the area where this incident actually happened is a boundary between 2 municipalities, Ayawaso North Municipality and then Ayawaso East Municipality. And so this meeting,
Nima on one side,
Mamobi on the other side. So this meeting that we're learning of is to essentially fashion a proper response, a proper security response to the situation, which we're learning has actually been simmering for quite a while and has been showing some signs.
Today I have a lot on my plate. You can see that because of incidents that happened yesterday in Nima and all that, so I have to leave you somewhere along the line to go for a meeting at National Security, this and that and that.
So that's the Greater Accra Regional Minister speaking at today, speaking to us during
in fact,
the sidelines of the meeting.
He was at a meeting with the various municipal and chief executives in the Greater Accra region over a separate matter. We're told this was essentially on the Operation Clean Your Frontage program, which he is championing. He had to dash out of that meeting to be able to attend to that other meeting at the National Security Ministry, and that's what he was just hinting of in that particular voice.
And we'll take you shortly to the community to gauge the reaction there following this violent incident. But here's the police's account of what happened. ACP Kwesi Fori is Director General, Public Affairs.
2 white ladies on board, believed to be Dutch nationals from Cape Coast to West Accra. On reaching Gomua Ochioko Junction, the driver veered off his lane and collided with the GAC truck, leading to the death of all occupants in the Toyota Prado car. The driver of the truck also sustained injury, and the injured were rushed to Trauma and Special Hospital, Winneba, for treatment, whilst the bodies of the deceased
7 people have been arrested. 5 are presently here with us, and the other 2 are on admission under police guard. That suggests they are under arrest. Again, we are pursuing the criminals in and around Nima and its environs to make sure that we get them arrested to enable them to face justice. And the gangsterism that I spoke about is led by one Kumoji, alias Ibrahim Hussein, and Bombo, alias Ali Audu. They are rivalry groups that never agreed on issues, and today they went all out on the open street of Nima.
That's ACP Kwesi Foida. Apologies for the wrong insert earlier, but my colleague Manor Cranton still with me in the studio. Manor, they saw human beings attacked with machetes while one person was shot. The police says, but for its swift intervention to restore calm in the area, it could have erupted into a full-blown conflict. Regardless, fear has gripped the people.
Indeed, Ernest, a lot of the shops, and this happened in along a very busy stretch in the area. So a lot of shops, a lot of vendors and so on and so forth actually operate on this stretch. But in quite the opposite fashion, today when we visited the ground, a lot of these shops were closed because the vendors who were loitering around said that they feared for their lives. Indeed, they thought that the people were, the suspect, if you like, who actually perpetrated this act might have returned. There's a gentleman who's been telling me about how himself he managed to escape gunshots.
Oh, yesterday I was in my shop, then I hear a gunshot, but I don't know where the gunshot from. After I realized, I raised my head up, I see the gunshot in my single shop.
You saw the gunshot in your ceiling?
But I don't know who, but the gunshot is from the top there, Mamobi top. Then I hear the gunshot.
That's from this side?
From there into my shop straight. I do not wake up. Once I saw that thing, then I wake up and do what? And close my shop and ran out.
You ran out?
I ran out.
What did you run through? Because this, you say it was coming from here.
And it's from the top there. I'm scared. I'm afraid because I can't near you people there. Get second this thing again. And I went to. All of us ran. The people where they are around watching. They are far. They are from far. It's not inside us. They are standing watching. All of us here ran. Who see gun and stand, Masa? Oh, you all ran. The people that they are here, they are from the back, and they come and we are watching them. This is my chair. Okay. This is my chair. Yeah. As I'm sitting here, pay. So I see the smoke like this. This corner will pass. Some corner I pass like this. I did not pass the door.
Where you go?
I go home. I don't fear.
Why say today you not open your shop?
Oh, I'm afraid because somebody can come and disturb me or can come and do something. That's why.
So that's a resident there, Manor, speaking to you. But you've also been trying to engage them on what exactly may be the background or what exactly is the reason for what we saw yesterday. What exactly have you learned?
So, Ernest, a lot of them have been really tight-lipped on this matter for fear of victimization and so on. But one gentleman who spoke to me said this situation has actually been simmering with the two rival groups exchanging, attacks, minor attacks here and there. And so for him, this actually was written quite boldly on the wall. He talks about how it was a turf war. So there are two factions, one at the Mamobi side and the other one at the Nima side. And both of them, we are told, and he tells me, that are fighting, for want of better expressions, over who controls the territory. And so one person extended, if you like, veered into the other person's territory. And that is what escalated into the situation we saw yesterday.
Well, the reason why they always fight is about rivalry. I think it's about self-acclaimed gang, self-acclaimed boss. This one a rule over this, and this guy also want to rule over this. So anytime they clash, there is a small incident. Then you see the two clans start to fight. And this is not the only time that they've been fighting. It's been happening years and years, over and over. Anytime they are being grabbed, they'll come back. They'll repeat the same thing. So yesterday wasn't the only day that they started. Yeah, I learned it started 3 days ago. when the other guy came to change money, and the other guy, his rivalry came and asked him why is he in their territory, and that was the mess. That was where it started from. Again. And as I'm talking with you, it can repeat itself today, tomorrow, and anytime, anywhere.
You said they arrest them and they leave them?
Yeah, individually when they arrest them, they are being released. So when they come back, they keep doing it. Actually, I don't know, but my bit is the elders of this community and some of the imams, they go on their aid. And even some of the police people. So these guys are like outlaws. They are like outlaws. When they are being arrested, they will be coming back again.
And Manuel, we are learning of the proliferation of arms in that community and how it appears some of them who act with so much impunity seem to have the backing of high-profile people there.
And that is what a few of the locals there tell me. And if you've seen the videos on social media, you see how the people in there are brandishing these weapons, firing into the crowd, in fact, aiming at people and shooting at them. They say that people know that, for instance, if Ernest lived in the area, people know that Ernest has guns and Ernest will, bring out his gun if you dare him. And so they actually do not understand how these people who they claim do not have authorization or certification to be using these guns are being allowed to use the guns.
We need my year with the bonus. But this time, something way is happening. We need to understand that thing way is happening. Because this time, the youth be like, say, the youth the law, sometimes the law, they work. Sometimes they do say the law, it need to work. Because, ask me why.
Why, sir?
The way I say you should ask me why. Because something is going on inside the area. You see human being, fellow human being, when it's not a police or soldier, he say he is using gun. For what? We suppose that boys where they do all that thing. They're supposed to catch him. We see say human being feel kill somebody. They run go. Their son come back. They say they leave him. Why? Why they go leave him for that? That one, the law need to work. Because right now, the thing, we want to say the IGP should stand up for them at top. Because what is going on in the area and it's not fine. Because we there here, we are fearing. Because right now, first, we will not say if you a woman be fight or something, where you wound, we know say Lord they take care of him. But right now, they like say the law, you need to work. Because so how? Ask me why.
Why again? Why?
That's I say you should ask me why. No? Because something where is supposed to happen, it's not supposed to happen. You understand? Because how they are doing inside the youth, we will not like that thing. So we want that thing should stop.
You say plenty of people get guns for the yard inside.
It be true. That one there be true. But I no go fit talk you say Kofi or Kojo or Ama where you get gun. But guns there inside the area.
Let's go to the phone lines now. We are learning that there's been a meeting of Zongo chiefs following this incident. We're joined by the spokesperson of the National Chief Imam, Sheikh Shaibu. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us here on Top Story. First of all, tell us, what has been the reaction of the Chief Imam to this development?
Thank you very much for this opportunity. The incident just coincided with a courtesy call paid on the National Chief Imam by the regional Chief Imams from all the regions. And it gave us opportunity now to react to this unfortunate incident, which in our belief cast a certain bad image on Islam, because Nima and Mamobi is a Muslim-dominated area. If anything at all, it's our expectation that the spirit of Islam and its morality and ethics and virtues will influence the activities and the mindset of the people there towards non-violence. So we saw it more as a kind of a dent on us. And so the Chief Imam has reacted swiftly to this and has condemned the act in the strongest of terms. It has caused him worry and anger that an area where you have the biggest number of mosques and the Makaranta system and Islam is the religion that is more predominant over there. Islam is the religion you can hear blaring out the call of Allahu Akbar every morning, every afternoon, early afternoon, late afternoon, at sunset, and at night. That's what you will hear. And so for some of these things to be happening there, it really is a matter of worry. And the Chief Imam has called on the Imams to make this subject a matter for sermon delivery this coming Friday, and indeed, in fact, beyond. And the issue goes beyond the young people in Nima and Mamobi to rather the country, wherever we have youth gangsterism that disturbs the peace and also threatens the security of the people. It's a matter of concern for Islam and Muslims, and he calls on, especially on the chiefs also, to use our cultural and traditional values to guide the activities of the youth. And lastly, and the most important platform for this, he has called on the parents, because all these people have come from certain homes. They have fathers, they have mothers. How come that it happened, that their lives have so been destroyed, that they themselves have become a threat to themselves and a threat to society? And they cause fear and anxiety. They make the society very unsafe for survival. And that was a serious worry, not for the Chief Imam alone, but for those who supported him. The Imam of Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah was there. The Imam of Shia was there. And then all the Imams that have come from across the whole of the country. I mean, let me say 16 of the original Imams who attended the event were all worried and were shocked and felt embarrassed about the incident.
Did you make any resolution to collaborate with the police in cracking the whip, handing them over, helping the police, first of all, identify some of these individuals who are involved in these violence and making sure that they face the law?
Already, the Chief Imam has made a commitment to cooperate with the police in any matter that has to do with the security of the people. During different visits, which was paid on him by the former and even the current IGP, and the Chief Imam is part and parcel of the National Security Dialogue on which I represent. So we are working together, but this new incident is giving us another reason to really strengthen our work and now seek a very strategic approach in dealing with them, because it has become like something cancerous, which you need both short, medium, and long-term approach to deal with. It has become, what has happened today is a sense to tell us that we are all sitting on a time bomb, and our youth can rise up one day and then will create a situation of insecurity that affects everybody. And so there is an ongoing discussion to really engage with the police at the highest level, and to ensure that wherever we have Muslim youth, not Muslim youth alone, but all young people who live within the Muslim-dominated areas, because some of them, you hear the names, they may not be necessarily, they may not be Muslims, or they may be Hausas, but they may be people who have lived with the Muslim community for a long time, and so they have become adopted people within the community. All those people, we want to target them for our counseling programs and for really direct engagement and the use of security arrangement to deal with the matter.
Thank you very much. That's Sheikh Arame Al-Shaibu. He speaks for the National Chief Imam. Let's go on to the other phone lines now and speak to security analyst Adam Bona on this development. And Mr. Bona, I'm grateful that you could join us here on Top Story. This is an area that has 2 police stations. At least we have one in Nima, we have the other in Mamobi, and yet we see these things happen every now and then. What for you must have gone wrong?
Well, good evening, Ernest. What must have gone wrong has always been wrong, and I have spoken at length about our inability to gather intelligence, our inability to move from our comfort zone, the police stations, and go into this where the people live, to be able to know what is going on. This particular, zooming into this particular incident. The incident started panning out not the day. I mean, the climax was when what we saw, but then somebody had been beaten a day before. Where was the Nima Divisional Police Command? Where was the Mamobi Police? And so mine is that these stations, those who man these stations, are supposed to be answering these questions because they live within these communities, and we don't know how much information they have about these communities. We don't know if they know these things are going to happen. No one knows if they, from time to time conduct research to know, what could happen. And so as far as I'm concerned, yes, I heard my brother Sheikh Al-Mayal speak about the chief imam playing a role. Yes, that is very welcome. But if the chief imam would do what is expected of him as a very important religious leader in this country, but if the police within that particular jurisdiction are asleep, then nothing happens. Because they could have easily prevented this. Ernest. They could have prevented it. And so it is lack of, alertness on the part of the police, lack of picking intel. I mean, is what are culminated into this, Ernest.
And the other aspect has to do, because this is an area that is unfortunately quite known for some of these violence, the other thing that comes to mind is the issue of police visibility. With this renewed police, leadership and the commitment to fight crime and improve our security, what do you make of the arrangement so far as far as visibility is concerned?
Well, you see, visibility... there are some areas I've seen improved security, police presence, and so, like I said, if the Nima division and those at Mamobi actually had a challenge and needed help, obviously they would have, called on the Inspector General of Police. They would have called on, who is in charge of that area to help them with regards to human resource or material resource, and so. Visibility is not, an event. It is something that you would have to plan it. You have to it's a process. And so if you want visibility, you want police presence, what type of police do you want? Do you want armed or unarmed police? And they should have done all this together with the police headquarters. But unfortunately, the president, that is where the president has his house. And, these things are happening. Shooting, broad daylight, some of them have been arrested. So as far as I'm concerned, yes, maybe this would now call, maybe the IGP probably would be awakened, and so that he would, put his foot on the ground. If there are supposed to be changes within some of these, divisions and districts and, stations, he does it so that we can have a more, proactive policing within some of these areas. If you take Kaswa, you take Ashaman and some of these areas, these things do happen. But Kaswa, they've dealt with it in a way. This IGP has dealt with it in a way. So the issue of Nima will not go away. Mamobi will not go away without undertaking some forensic, intel, picking information and knowing what you must put on the ground to ensure these things don't happen. And even if they would happen, you have what it takes to stop it. And this was just a total failure on the part of the police in those areas, not the larger police, because the highway robberies have come down significantly. But why should this be happening just at the doorstep of the President of the Republic? It is sad,
As it stands now, the police is on a search for other members of the gangs, even though they have 7 already in their custody, and the police has hinted that it will be giving us an update any moment from now on their investigations. But the people are gripped with fear. There are fears of reprisals, and that could escalate the situation there. What do you advise the police should do immediately in order to control this further?
Well, they should have already. They have men on the ground. They have boots. They have, the firepower on the ground. But whether that can be sustained is another thing. And also using the office of the chief imam, I think, is another avenue where the people they can calm nerves down. But most significantly, the gang leaders should be arrested. I'm told it involves about 45 young people. Some of them are known criminals, and so the community members know them. But the only thing is that sometimes they are afraid, see no evil, hear no evil, and feel no evil. So you talk about it, it means you will be declared a persona non grata. You have to move from the place. And so one would have wished that maybe there is a hotline given to the people within that area. If you know them, you don't have to go to the Nima Police Division. This is a hotline. Call and tell us. Don't even tell us your name, where you are calling from. Tell us you know where one of these persons are. Because then if you expect the people to go to the police station, the Nima Police Station, and report, the thieves, the criminals themselves have informants within, some of this setup. So I would say that they have to re-strategize to get the people to talk to them. And one of the strategy, like I said, would be to probably have a hotline that you can call from wherever you are, and you don't have to give your name, but give us information that will lead to the arrest of some of these persons.
Mr. Bona, we'll leave it here for now, and I'm grateful that you could join us with your thoughts on this development. The police has hinted that shortly they will update us on the operations in the area. They've arrested 7 already, but they're on a manhunt for some more on this development. And like Mr. Bona hinted, there are about some 45 young men engaged in this violence. And that's it for Top Story, brought to you by Vodafone and Prime Insurance. Rest assured, you are insured. My name is Ernest Minu. Newsnight comes up right after this message.